Hello, ladies and gentlemen. RJ Horner here, and I am starting a new club, a Toastmasters club. And being a club, we start on time. We said we were going to start at 8 p.m. today, and here we are. It's 8 p.m. We're going live, and we're recording. Now, we're only going live because this is about promoting the club. We are trying to start up a Toastmasters club so that we can experience our journey, so that we can experience the life of a Toastmaster. I'm looking to improve and continue to build my leadership skills. Curtis, same thing, looking to build his leadership skills. So we are starting this club. I'm no longer satisfied as a Toastmaster without a club. And I've learned a lot since I've come back here. So I'm willing to share, I'm ready to share that with people out there and share how Toastmasters can help you develop your skills as a leader, as a coach, as a speaker, as a teacher, because we get to practice in our Toastmaster environment. Some people don't even know what Toastmasters is. So we're going to discuss that today. What is Toastmasters? But really, we're going to discuss leadership and executive, because we're looking to put together our executive committee. So we're going to discuss that today. So again, I'm RJ Horner, and I will be the president of this organization. I've gotten enough skill under my belt that I think I can lead people in the direction they need to go, and I can help facilitate and lead this club. So I am taking on that role for this organization. Curtis, would you like to introduce yourself? Let people know who you are and why you've decided to take this Toastmasters journey.
My name is Curtis Leong, and I'm taking this Toastmaster journey because I tried this a couple years ago. I kind of like what they do. Gave me confidence of speaking in public a little bit more than I was used to. I also know they do leadership programs, which I was quite interested in before. And then COVID came around, so I wasn't really able to do much. I didn't really know about the online thing until RJ mentioned it. And it's how they do most of their stuff now is through online, which is awesome. So that's what we're doing now. We're going to try to set up our own club and try to encourage other people to join us because we try to do a leadership programs in our own business, and we want to help others with their journey in their life to become leaders as well.
Absolutely.
Cool.
And we're finding different ways to become leaders ourselves and to help other leaders to find that path and to find their journey so that they can develop their message, their mission. And that's really what it's about. And that's why we're putting on a Toastmasters club with the specifics of helping the thought leaders out there, the coaches, the authors who want to have that speaker journey. They want to build their communication skills. So, Curtis, you're not yet registered as a Toastmaster. You've never joined the organization.
No.
So I am. Again, I refer to myself as a Toastmaster without a club. Because once you register with Toastmasters, you are a Toastmasters for life. It's just whether you're an active member and whether you have that status. So I have access to the Toastmasters website. And so I'm going to look at that today and maybe show people around and give them an idea of what it's like as a Toastmaster, how they can find clubs, how they can get involved.
Mm-hmm.
And really, we are going to also talk about leadership, the executive committee. Because I told you, I'm going to operate as president. I believe, at least for one term or one full year, I'm ready to step up and play that role and help build this club and lead this club to something good. There's many clubs out there that they exist. My Orangeville club shut down because it really wasn't that dynamic. It wasn't that exciting. And they also didn't go out and do things like this to promote the club, to get, draw new members. There was really no initiative with people to go out and build the club. I found the club because I was seeking it. I was looking for something nearby. So many people out there might be seeking their club, their Toastmaster journey, their position to get involved or to improve their communication and leadership. And Toastmasters is that club, is that place. It's a safe place to practice and develop without little judgment. There is judgment because there's this role called evaluators, but um, really, it's a place where we can do things without judgment, without criticism or the feeling of being criticized um, by the audience, because your audience here is fellow Toastmasters. It's the people who are trying to develop their journey and their communication skills, just like everybody else at the table. So, what is the point of a Toastmaster, and why get involved? What can it do for you? Um, First of all, they have a proven program that's built to develop your communication and leadership skills. When I started, they were just two manuals. There's the competent communicator and a competent leader. This was your program. This was how you became a Toastmaster. You went through these manuals. Competent communicator would help you develop your speaking and your speech skills. And then the competent leader helps you play these roles within the organization and gain skills as you develop. That was the program for many, 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 many years. But they've changed recently. Had a lot of realignment, had a lot of direction. And, COVID forced a lot of people to shut down their clubs and forced some people to go online. So the online, look, when I was there was one or two online clubs. Like, it really wasn't that developed. So we get to practice in a safe, comfortable environment with a proven program. And I'll show you how the program has changed a little later on, when I go through the website and show you some of the resources that we have available. So we've got that communication program developed for you, but we also work in a positive and supportive environment. And that allows people the opportunity to find your voice and learn and tell your story in a confident setting, because you know the people you're working with and growing with. And then we get regular and constructive feedback. One of the roles they have within Toastmasters is called an evaluator. There's a person who evaluates the speeches that are going on today. In fact, each speaker has another evaluator. And then their job is to bring constructive and supportive feedback to how they did as a speaker. How many times did they use the word How many times did they pause? How many times did they have to look at their notes? These are things that we look to improve. And you don't get to improve if somebody's not telling you or not showing you that this is what you've done, right? You don't analyze it yourself when you speak. So that's one of the things that offers within the program, is a safe place to practice your thoughts and present them to people you're comfortable and familiar with. And then we get to practice leadership, which is really what I'm excited about, because again, we get to continue that leadership journey. And this program, I'm going to show you, there's the Pathways is the new program, and you get to choose from 11 different paths. But each one is suited to you. So you would start where you feel most comfortable. And I'll get to that a little later on. And then, so that gives unlimited opportunities for personal development and professional development. And then when I start to show you the website, you're going to see the educational material. In fact, you know what? That's what it's telling me now, is that there's a wealth of material available. I'm going to open up a Toastmasters website. So let me start sharing my screen here. Oh, I haven't set the website up. So let me go set the website up first.
Right on, RJ.
There we go. So if I go to Zoom, I can share that screen.
Hear it?
Where are we? Nope, that's the one. That's the one. Where is our screen? Show all windows. All right. I know I had a Toastmasters window open, but it's not allowing me to find it. And you want to know something? Look, you're watching me have technical difficulties. Um,
That's fine, RJ.
there we go. These technical difficulties can happen in the
Yep.
club environment as well. So I've
Oh, yeah.
experienced that as well. So this is the Toastmasters website, and it's my Toastmasters platform. So which allows me to give, or at least direct you around the website. Because again, you don't have this as of yet, Curtis, because you've never become a member.
That's right. There's some free stuff on there as well. So
They
check it
do
out.
have a lot of free materials, so anybody can go on there. Like even finding a club or starting a club, whether you're a member or not, you can look at that information and use it to your advantage. I got my password right there. So, and this is what you do to log on to your site. It really is simple. Yep. I'm experiencing slowness because I want to get this done.
Yeah, probably. So how long were you in the club for there, RJ?
You know what? I was with the club only 6 months, 7 months.
Oh yeah.
My first term that I paid for, my schedule changed. Right when I decided I was going to be a Toastmaster, my schedule changed, and then so I wasn't able to. I did my first 2 speeches. That's it. And the first 2 speeches were icebreaker, and then what was the other one? Preparation, learning how to put your speech together, organize your speech. So that was it. That's all I got to try and do. So I'm having difficulties trying to get into the website. So let's go back then. If I can't get into it right now, I'm going to stop sharing. We'll try this again a little later if I've got better internet. But that may be an issue for us today. So there is, when I get to show it to you, there is tremendous material available. Like Curtis said, there is some free stuff in there, and that's a place to start. So please go look at it yourself, toastmasters.org. That's Toastmasters International's website. You can find a club on there, whether it's an online club or whether it's a club that's another thing. There's now people are starting to go back to the physical environment. So there are clubs that are starting to meet in public, based on restrictions, of course, but also they're allowing this hybrid model, which means, look, let's put a TV screen over on the wall here, and there's where our online Zoom group can participate, or whatever platform they happen to be using. So people can participate online as well as in person. Now, I'm looking forward to eventually getting a club or getting into a club in a physical location. There is nothing like the environment of a Toastmasters meeting room. You won't develop your speaking skill to the same level in an online environment. But the environment we can create here and develop here is for coaches and leaders and thought leaders who are going to be delivering their message in this format. So that's what we're hoping to put together here, and that's why we're focusing on leaders, thought leaders, coaches, authors, entrepreneurs who want to help build their business and their leadership and their mission, and help develop their message and their communication skills at the same time. And and if you're a member, you get a free subscription to the Toastmaster magazine. I can download the Toastmaster, even though I don't have an active membership. I haven't paid my dues for a new club as of yet. I will once we start this club up. That's part of the dues or initiation fee in starting one of these clubs. Yes, there is a fee. It's not free. As you see, as I'm going to show you, there is a dedicated program. And by paying your dues, your membership fees, you get access to this program. And then the leadership skills that you develop by being a Toastmaster, you get to help your fellow members to develop their leadership and communication skills, right? As an educator, as a evaluator, as the grammarian. These different things can help people develop their skill. And then by providing the leadership, by providing these roles, we're helping to grow as an executive, right? If you're in an office setting, you're an administrator, you're looking for a promotion, these skills can help you develop so that you can now move forward with your career. That's something else, is that by putting Toastmasters International and your club registration, that looks good on a resume. People are recognizing these credentials. So by putting Toastmasters International or Toastmasters Club so and so, you're letting people know that you are training, that you are developing your skills. And we also have those roles: president, vice presidents. We have several vice presidents. We have secretaries. We have treasurer, sergeant at arms. These are roles that have to be filled within a club. These are leadership roles. And when you put these roles on your resume, these can help improve your employability and your career opportunities. And then, look, by telling people you're a Toastmaster, you're getting a reputation. You're becoming known. You're becoming more valuable, right? So, and you represent a certain level of credential, a certain level of authority, because you are a Toastmaster. So we pride ourselves on the Toastmaster journey. I do. It's been missing in my life, and I highly recommend it to anybody. But like I said, we're taking this one online, and we're going to develop our leadership, our club officer level. And so I will discuss those just a little bit and see if I can get inside our website again, because I really want to show you around and maybe even show you some of the rules. Curtis, is there anything you can say about Toastmasters that you have found out in your short term with us, with regards to the leadership and stepping into that role?
I know that for me, even though I went there a few times, they actually let me speak once. It was kind of fun. It's definitely gets you outside your comfort zone, so that could be definitely a thing for some people to move up in their comfort level, to do a speech or two or get up in front of people. Even though you know each other a little bit, it still can be a little bit of a nervous thing, which is good. I really found that people there are friendly, super friendly people. They kind of want to know you, want to welcome, very welcoming people. Some of the other parts you talked about, the grammar, grammarian, you
Grammarian?
called it. Am I
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Grammarian, yeah. I thought it was kind of cool. The timekeeper, I think they use the same person all the time because the equipment that they used was difficult, I guess. But I found that some of the people that were there originally when I first started going, they were kind of so-so. But then, you show up a month or two later, it's like, wow, look at that, they're really good. And they always give you awards every time you show up, or some kind of different ribbon type thing.
Um,
Am I?
yeah, they give ribbons. There's a table topics. That's one of the
Yep.
things that
And you vote on it and stuff, see who you thought was the best person.
yep. And they have something we
Yeah.
brought up before was the word of the week. That's something that the grammarian is responsible for.
Mhm.
So um other than speaking to you guys today, I don't seem to have internet connectivity. I do not know what's going on because I usually have a good source of internet. So all I can do is maybe explain the roles and responsibilities. But because I don't have internet access, it looks like I'm going to have a very short meeting today. See, yeah, wait or exit page. That's my only options. Like, I just can't access any web page today. That is so silly. Right when you want to,
Is that on
right?
YouTube?
What?
Is that on YouTube? The video you're looking for is on YouTube?
Again, I can't access another website. I can't, other than being here and like
No,
a,
no. Maybe I can do it on my end if you do screen sharing.
okay, so you know what?
You
If
can
you
make me
look up
co-host.
club
Maybe I can try.
roles, if you go to YouTube,
Yep.
look up
Yep.
Toastmasters Club Officers.
Right. Toastmasters, what?
Club officers.
Roles? Officer roles?
Yeah, that will be fine. And if you can find a general overview of the club rules. I don't want anything specific on a specific role just yet. I would like the overview so that people can understand the leadership aspect of it.
Okay.
So if you can find something and start sharing your screen, maybe so that we can look with you.
Okay. And we'll do this. The first one I found. Escape. So let's see.
And we need to start encouraging people to come out and join us, Curtis. I mean, I know we're doing that. We're trying to reach people through our social media, through Facebook. People are,
Okay, I'm gonna try this RJ. I'm not sure it's gonna work with the music and stuff. Let me see. Let me know.
yeah, you might need a different speaker.
Do you have anything?
Nope, no volume. And I don't have it either. So yeah, you need, the only way to do that is to have an external speaker, right? And
Club located in Redmond, Washington.
Yep.
Past 3 years,
Anything?
I've had the great pleasure of taking on
the
3
video's not moving.
officer club roles
Maybe put it on main, like big, like full screen.
of education, and last year, the club president. I wanted to share a little bit about what these roles do and how they
The
help your
video is
club.
not-
This video is an overview of the officer roles at the
the
Toastmaster
video's
Club
not
level.
moving.
More detailed club officer best
You can hear
practice
it okay?
videos will also
The
be
video's not
created.
moving.
Leadership skills are important to all of us, and this is a great way that of the larger world of Toastmasters.
I'm not going to waste our time with this today.
Yeah.
We'll come back with another presentation and be more prepared for it.
Okay.
What I am going to do, and we'll probably end up going short today because we can't do these videos, and I'm not upset about that, but I mean, I came with a plan today, right? Of course, the best laid plans of mice and men.
Yep.
Right? They don't seem to work out the way you want them to. So let's go into these roles a bit. So the president, which will be me under this club, at least for the first term, the first year. I want to step into this role. I'm ready for this role, and I'm dedicated to this role. The president is essentially the CEO, the person running the group, the organization. They're responsible for the environment in the club. They're responsible for to make sure that people do their job as they're supposed to, like any CEO would. They're to make sure that the education director is getting people to do their speeches, and that the people who are performing their speeches are available and prepared. And they're also responsible for representing the club. They represent the club at higher levels. Now, I'm just going to talk about the club for a moment, but there is more to Toastmasters than just individual clubs. But the president is responsible for representing the club internationally and regionally. So the president, and then the president runs the overall meeting. But that also means they don't spend, like, they're not talking like I am all presentation, all meeting. They're responsible for introducing the Toastmaster of the day, who will then run the meeting and make sure to introduce all of the presenters and the speakers and the evaluators who will come up to the lectern or take the stage as we are doing now. That's the president's role. So I'm ready to play that role. I think I can do that very well and help this organization become something. Especially because of my passion for it. I have a desire to build this as a club, but not only that, but as an executive dynamic club, as something exciting and powerful. We're going to create champions here. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to create champion speakers, although there is championships involved. There is speaking competitions and contests. That's part of the dynamic organization. So we're going to build that here in an online club built for coaches, speakers, authors who want to build their mission. But then, as I said, the president is responsible to help make sure the executive committee does their job. So we moved down from the president to the vice president of education. So the role they play is to step in and make sure that everybody who has, okay, I'm going to show you the manuals, but we call it pathways now. Everybody on their path who has a speech to perform or a leadership duty to perform, the vice president of education will stay on top of them and help promote them. Like you said earlier, Curtis, we push people out of their comfort zone. And that's how we do that. That the vice president of education pushes you. You may not want to do that speech. Like first thing, icebreaker. We want to introduce you to the club. So it's, hey, you've just signed your membership. You've just paid your dues. How soon can we get you in to do your first speech? Right? Can you be ready next week? Because that's what it is. Oh, you need 3 weeks? Okay, I'm going to schedule you in for 3 weeks from now. You may not want to do it. You may be nervous, but by doing that, they're keeping you in line and they're going to help you get your education completed. So that's what they do. They make sure the education of the individual Toastmaster gets elevated, gets completed, you get through those manuals or you get through the pathways that you're on. Then there's the vice president of membership. Now, this person is responsible for each and individual member. They're responsible to make sure that the members perform their duties, to perform their pathway or their project that's upcoming, but they're responsible to bring in new members. They're responsible for signing up. Look, we want to invite guests out to our Toastmaster Club. Like I said, Curtis, let's try and get 1 or 2 guests out to our next meeting. So we invite guests out. And then the membership, the vice president of membership, they're responsible for trying to talk to them and get them into that, into being a member, get them signed up and get them on their pathway. Next vice president, because we have 3 vice presidents. We've had the vice president of education, vice president of membership, and then we have the vice president of public relations. Now, this is marketing. This is sales. This is promotion. This is the person who's going to get the word out about your club. They're the person who's going to promote that club and put press releases out and post on Facebook and on LinkedIn and Twitter and TikTok. And they're going to be responsible for the social media profiles that are going to help bring in guests that are potential members. Next, we move on to the secretary. This is a role I wouldn't be very good at, and I haven't played this role yet, and I wouldn't want to at this point. Maybe down the road, after I become president, maybe down to a vice president, maybe secretary might be a role I need to step up and challenge myself with. But that's also part of it, right? Again, I've told you, I'm kind of intimidated by this role, but it's because I'm not a details man. I'm not an organized man. So getting the files right, getting the notes right, making sure that, everybody does, we've documented everything that people said they were going to do or that needs to be done. They're responsible for that. So I'm not capable at that at the moment, but it might be a role that I need to explore in my future journey. Treasurer. Now, I could play this role. The treasurer is the money man. They're responsible for collecting dues, but having a bank account or holding the bank account so that they can transfer funds between us and Toastmasters International. Also, if we have to pay for ribbons and things like that, speech contests or travel for whatever reason, this comes out of the memberships club's dues. This comes out of our bank accounts, and there's the treasurer who's responsible, obviously, for all of that. And then the sergeant at arms. I like this role. So have you ever seen the Speaker of the House or the House of Commons? They have what is called the sergeant of arms, and you may have heard it's the staff sergeant. It's the guy who holds the staff. The staff controls the meeting. When the staff is present in the room, that means we are in session. So the sergeant at arms plays this role. But what it means is they are responsible for the environment of the club. They're responsible for the room, whether that means a Zoom room, like a meeting online, or the physical room if you're in a hybrid club. The sergeant at arms is responsible for everybody who walks through that door and comes into this environment. Now, what that means is when a guest comes in because they've seen the Toastmaster sign and they want to come and explore, they've been invited, whatever, they now welcome them and say, hello, how are you today? I'm so-and-so, I'm our sergeant at arms. What brings you here today? And he will now take that person and introduce them to somebody else immediately. That's his role, to introduce him to another official member, probably the vice president of membership or the public relations vice president. The idea is that person is now going to get to know them, welcome them to the environment, and then introduce them to the club that very day. Within the first 10 minutes, you will have met somebody. If you're a new Toastmaster at a new club or a potential Toastmaster, you will have met somebody, talked to them, a stranger, complete stranger, and told them something about yourself, told them some interesting facts about yourself, so that they can now go introduce you to this club, so that you can feel a sense of belonging. You feel welcomed. That's a powerful thing. When somebody welcomes you, that's a powerful thing. So this sergeant at arms is a very prominent role because they help guests who might become members feel comfortable, feel welcomed, feel like they belong and that they want to come back. And then they go out and say, you know what? I went to this Toastmasters group the other day, and as soon as I got there, somebody greeted me, you know what I mean? Got to know me, introduced me to a couple of other people, introduced me to the environment and the club. They welcomed me. I even felt comfortable to say a few words in introduction myself, or maybe I stepped up and did the table topics, because you know what? The table topics your very first day will help push you. I did my table topics the very first day. It was exciting. I'm sure my face was red at the time because I used to get a lot more blood pressure back then. But so did you have something you wanted to say about that, Curtis?
No, I'm just saying that you do get quite nervous your first time up there, but you get through it, and it's all good after.
Yeah, that's
And
part of getting out of the
the
comfort
people
zone,
there
right?
they're very encouraging. They definitely say, "Oh, you did this right, you did this right." And if something's wrong, it's still in a positive light. It's more like not like even criticism, just like, "Hey, do this better next time," or whatever point they need to point out. You know what I'm saying? So it's never a negative experience there, even though you make a mistake. They don't really jump on it. They just help you to do improve. So if you do something wrong, say, hey, you should try this to make it better. So that's always encouraging when you're learning something new, to be encouraged and to help build your confidence so you can do it next time better. I think
Hmm.
that's awesome.
Hmm.
That because a lot of times in life you play a sport and you don't really feel great because teammate might say something crappy to you. It's like, yeah, I'm doing the best I can, but no one tells you, hey, you didn't hit the ball this way because you did this. Why don't you try it this way, right? 9 times out of 10, you'll get that.
Even
And
professional.
with the Toastmasters, you get it. I'm
Mm,
about professionals, different. That's your life, right? But even
yeah.
like general sports, you don't really get that sort of coaching or direction. But with Toastmasters, I found that they're very, very good at guiding you and making sure that you're able to do good speeches, right?
Yep.
That's what I liked about it.
Yep.
Cool.
And what I was going to say is even professionals, baseball players, for example, they have a batting coach, right? They have, and that batting coach is a lot more stringent because these are professionals and they should get it right. And they need to know how to hit that ball, as many times as they can without
Yeah,
striking out.
that's
So
right.
that's part of your job. So the coach is on top of you. But here we have the same role, but we're not as judgmental. We're not as, and let me tell you something. I want to point
Mhm.
something out. Everybody makes mistakes. Even these professional baseball players,
Yep.
a high professional average is 330%. 30% is excellent. Okay. I'm a bus driver. If I performed at 30%, my Lord, the
I don't
tragedy
think we
would
get to our
occur.
destination very quick.
So, but here's another thing is that, and I used it the first day and I said, no matter what happens, it's only Toastmasters, right? In other words, it's a relaxing environment for you to
Yep.
get those issues out. And then, like I said, you know what? Mistakes happen, right? And one of the things that you'll learn is that they say, don't apologize. right? When you get it wrong. Now, as a new speaker, you're like, oh, sorry about that. Oh. And then you try and go back to where you were and try it again. Don't do that. Move on. Keep moving forward with your conversation or your speech or whatever. Don't say, oh, sorry, because now you've gotten distracted, you're apologizing, you're making up for something that might even, maybe you stumbled a little bit. Your audience is not going to pay attention to that little stumble. They're listening to the words that are coming out of your mouth and the message that you're delivering. They're not going to worry about every little thing like the ums and ahs. But getting rid of that and practicing it in a Toastmaster environment does help you smooth out your speaking ability.
Yeah, so it's more fluid for sure.
Right. And then, so like I said, they don't apologize for it. So I've talked to you about most of the rules. Those are the 7 top executive rules. But then there's the other one that, look, after I've served my term as president, let's say I don't get another role. Let's say I don't play a vice president role. I don't get elected, because after this first year where we're putting together this executive committee, we're going to kind of pick and choose who's going to be our executive, and then our executive is going to work to get this membership together. That's how we're going to build this club. But if I don't get to play one of these roles, the role I will now take on is called the immediate past president. That means I still have an executive type role, because I'm still responsible to help the club in the best ability I can. Having performed that role, I know some of the duties. So I get to help lead the people who are now responsible for the executive committee. And I'm not an officiant. I'm not the member, like the president runs it. The vice president membership, these guys are taking up their roles. I'm just to act, if I'm the immediate past president, I'm just to act as a support for these people. Whereas I could step in if the president doesn't show up tonight. I could step in and fill in tonight. That's the kind of role. They're just, a backup, a support to the executive committee. So don't think just because I've served my term, I'm done. It's executive committee's job to support this organization, to promote this organization, to help develop membership. But the best part of a Toastmasters club is that it's not just the executive committee's job. It's every Toastmasters job. We want to create an environment, and there's where the dynamics of an excellent club comes in. We want to create an excellent club. In other words, a club built around excellence. And to do that, we need every member to be supportive of this club. That means, how many members can you invite, or how many guests can you invite out tonight? Tell them about Toastmasters. Talk up Toastmasters. Tell them what it can do for their leadership. Look, we have conversations all the time with people about how they're not performing well, how they're not doing the job they should be, how they're not living up to the expectations that people have of them. These people are potential Toastmasters guests, which means they're potential Toastmasters. So we want to invite them out. We want to talk up Toastmasters to say, hey, come out and speak with us tonight. Come out and meet the fellow people I work with, or I meet with, who can help you through your journey. Did you have something?
No, I'm just saying, like, maybe we should ask people to leave a comment below if they want to join us.
Absolutely, please.
Join us. We'll love to
leave your name or some kind of comment. I hope people are going to catch this. Whether you're here live, I don't know if anybody's watching live. I never bring out my Facebook that I can watch at the same time. I don't do the comment thing and follow along. I probably should. I should probably pay attention more when I'm doing Facebook Live online. That's part of, look, we're building the platform for coaches and authors and speakers and people who want to build that thought leadership journey. And there's an area where I just noticed I'm failing, right? I don't watch Facebook Live while I'm doing a presentation. But there are other people who do. In fact, I know our coach, our business coach. I know when he's doing a presentation, he's got another speaker over here, or another screen over here, where he's watching Facebook. He's watching the comments so that he can interact with people at the same time as he's broadcasting. That's probably a skill that I need to start practicing and implementing in my thought leader journey.
Yeah.
And that's something we just figured out right here in our Toastmasters meeting. Mm-hmm. So you can see the value behind the Toastmasters journey.
Yeah.
So I talked about the leadership at the club level. Okay. We'll get into it a little deeper in other episodes, other meetings. In fact, we're going to stop calling this a meeting, Curtis. It's a Toastmaster event
Event. Okay.
because people are sick of meetings. They don't want to come out to more meetings. We're creating this Toastmaster event because eventually we're going to have people speaking and presenting to us.
Yeah.
We're going to be in District 86. We're registering it in the South Central Ontario region. So that is west of Mississauga and south of Lake Ontario, that region. So Burlington, Oakville, out into your area, Fort Erie, Niagara Falls, down into Windsor, all of that is District 86, which is where we're going to belong, which is great because I have contacts and people I'm familiar with in that district.
Oh, fantastic.
And then thankfully, I just told you that we have districts. There's been realignment. I was in Orangeville in District 86. There's why I have contacts in District 86.
Yep.
But now Toronto is District 60. District 86 has now moved south and west so that they're no longer in the Toronto or greater Toronto area, which was their region. And then now 123 is now where I would be represented, which is the northern west, all west north of Toronto or east north of Toronto. So that would be District 123. So I've told you about districts. And then because you're a director at a club level, you're an executive at the club level, you can now put your name forward to be a district leader. And we'll talk about those roles another day. But there is district leaders. There's an area council, which is, areas, which are not, that's even different. Like, so those districts are breaking into smaller areas. As much as we're in District 86, you'll find out, I think yours is Area 55 or something like that near you. So we'll find out what the actual area that will belong to. But then beyond that, there's divisions. And then beyond that, there's district. And then beyond that, there's the region. Now, the region is responsible for each district and division and area. Then you move on to the international level and the world headquarters. And each of these levels requires an executive committee. So just because you were a Toastmaster at this club level, and maybe even you took on a club level executive role, leadership role, that's not the end of your journey. If you want to develop your leadership skills to become a CEO, to become an executive, to become a finance master or a minister, or you want to develop your political career, legal career, these are things that you're practicing within the organization. One of the things I wanted to develop big time was my negotiation skills. Trust me, as I move up the level in this organization, I will develop my communication and negotiation skills because I'm going to have to negotiate things on behalf of the club. So there's something I'm already stepping out of my comfort zone and moving into a new development or new opportunity with new skills right from the get-go, right out of the gate. I'm practicing and moving forward. So those are the levels. Look, just because you're at a club, we're starting a club. That's your starting point, but we are building executive. We're going to put you on that path to your leadership journey. Our focus here will be the thought leaders. We're connected to a lot of coaches. We're connected to people who are teaching and training out there, who are help building the next generation of marketers, affiliate marketers, digital marketers. These are opportunities that didn't exist 20 years ago. But now these are things that people are now able to develop a business around, build an income around, which means they're going to have to talk to people, which means they're going to have to lead people. They're going to have to be responsible to people. This is the place to do it. And the best part is, look, I mentioned there's a cost. It's not free. You saw all the things I'm talking about that's built around this organization. So it's not free. But it's not costly either. For 1 year, in this program. Now you can develop so much in 1 year. You can practice. You could have done these manuals. In a year, you can do 2 of these manuals each. If you're really moving forward, not even you're pushing yourself, you can get through 2 of these manuals each in a year. There's people who have done it. I've heard of people doing 3, but these are the people who really push themselves and you know, they want to become the champion speakers. But again, we're not using these manuals anymore. Although, look, the competent communicator, some of the first speeches, the icebreaker is first. Get to the point is another one. And then preparing your speech. These are still part of the pathways. We're just not using the manuals anymore. So you saw what the club can do for you. And we're just discussing it here. That's all. We haven't really introduced you to the club yet. But so the membership, the fees. Now, each club will have its own fees because there's costs to running a club. Zoom costs money. Ribbons. If we want to do ribbons for contests, that's costs money. Cards, business cards, placards for postcards, things that we want to post out to promote our events, ads we may want to post out. These things cost money. So it's not free to run a club. So there is international dues. That's $45 US for 6 months. For every 6 months, a club runs from April, we sign up, and September, we sign up. So October, the dues is due. But these are the sign-up months so that we can register for another 6 months. So it's 6 months at a time for $45 US, international dues. Then our club, we're going to charge $30 US per person. Okay, that's so that we can help build funds for this club so that we can pay those fees and those advertising and buy some products to help promote and really create a dynamic club like we want to. So those are the costs for that. But we're also starting up this club, which has some fees associated with it. It's $125 to start the club, US dollars, of course. And it's $20 for each new member that we have to sign up. And we have a quota to start up this club. We need to recruit, including ourselves, Curtis. We need to have 20 members before this club can officially start. We've started now in February. We've committed to June 30th is our deadline to get this club chartered. So we
Where
will
do they need to go to start joining them?
Pardon?
Where can they go to start joining us?
I didn't get to go open it today, but if they go to Toastmasters.org, they can get a membership application.
Okay.
But I don't think I want them to go there yet because I want them to join our club, right? If they want to go online, come to our club, learn about it more, and we'll get you registered. We're not registering people today. There's still, a few more sessions of this before we're starting to hopefully get some members.
Create some interest, yeah.
Yeah, we need to, that's what these are about. And that's why we're going live, is to create that buzz, to create that interest, to entice people to come and join us. So we will talk about how you can join as a member.
Fair enough.
So $45 US per 6 months, $30 US for the club per 6 months, $125 is our registration fee, and then $20 per member, new member fee. So look, if you want to be a part of this executive or want to be a part of our new club, yes, it's going to be more costly than just the $45 a month or $45 for 6 months. But again, I think we're putting together something spectacular here. I'm going to create a high engagement, high value excellence club. We're built around being excellent, creating yourself and taking yourself to that level. If you don't want to challenge yourself, you don't want to step out of your comfort zone, don't come, don't join us, don't bother. But look, I sought Toastmasters myself because I knew it was going to help take my leadership and my communication to the next level. And not only has my career elevated since then, I've become a peer support facilitator since then, and helped change the lives of people since then because I became a Toastmaster. I made that decision. So if you want to become a Toastmaster, that's the first part. Decide to become a Toastmaster. Decide to make Toastmasters part of your journey. And if you do that, I guarantee you, your life is going to change. And if you want to find that club, that physical environment club, go to Toastmasters.org. You can explore on the website. In fact, do that now. Go learn what Toastmasters can do for you and come and join us next Monday after you've learned a little bit. Curtis, go play with that website, Toastmasters.org.
Yep.
There's a lot of information about club officers, about starting a club, things like that. Look, I've introduced you to the club, but get familiar with that website and some of the roles and some of the leadership. And then
Sure.
look on YouTube as well. Remember I said Toastmasters International or Toastmasters clubs? Look this up on YouTube because the information is out there. We're just talking about it because we want to promote this club. We want to get this club going. So we're trying to share the information. We're trying to share the value. So I've said a lot tonight. I've hoped I couldn't share it the way I wanted to. The presentation part didn't work. But what do you have to say again, Curtis, in parting? Why should people become a Toastmaster? Why should they jump into that executive role maybe right from the start?
Maybe they have some leadership skills already, and the executive role will help push them a bit further in their career, in their regular work, and also to help us, help them, to make them better, and help us do a better job with our club, right? It's about helping each other, make a win-win situation out of it. Right? So come join us, basically.
No, exactly. That's exactly what it boils down to. Look, we have some skills, right? You've developed as a leader quite a lot in the last year or so. I've developed as a leader a lot in the last year or two through our practice and our implementation. So that's what it's about. Look, I'm only so skilled. There are many people who could probably take on this president role. In fact, there's lots of clubs out there who are doing better than we are. This is going to be a beginner startup club. So if you've had some Toastmasters experience, you may be like me, a Toastmaster without a club. We need somebody to fill these executive roles, so come out and join us. But if you don't have Toastmasters experience, but you've considered it, you wanted to improve your speaking, you just didn't know where to turn. You've talked to these speaker trainers who want to charge you $3,000 for their program. These people, sure, they're out there to make a business. You want to be in their footsteps. So come learn at an affordable, safe, friendly, fun environment. I hope we've showed it to be a little fun today. You know what I mean? Like we've had some screwy things go wrong, but we kind of rolled with it and joked about it and didn't make it so serious. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about a friendly environment that's going to help you grow and develop. It's here for you. As much as I'm talking about it and I'm promoting it, it's about every member, and every member can make this club great. So come out and join our club. I don't have much more to say today.
I think it's all good.
We're building our executive committee. So come out and be part of that. Curtis, what do you have to say in parting?
I think you've said it all, RJ. Just come out, check us out, and join if you think it's a thing for you that you want to do, for sure. Join our club. We'll be very appreciative and be part of the group. Get this thing going off. Get this thing off the ground, right? Get it going.
Yep.
That's all I have to say.
Sorry. Yep. So
I don't have much.
Yep. It's the belonging. That's exactly what Curtis is getting to. It's that belonging. Come out and belong. Come out and be a part of it. Come out and celebrate yourself by being a part of it. So, folks, thank you for joining us tonight. Like Curtis said,
Thank you.
leave some comments if you're interested in any way, or if you have any questions. If I don't know it all, because again, my Toastmasters journey is not elevated. I haven't been there enough to know everything, especially it's changed a lot since I've been there. So I know a lot about Toastmasters, but a lot of it's changed. So if I don't know the answers, I've got people who can get me answers, or I've got the resources where I can get you the answers. So if you have questions, you have concerns, you have information you need, ask. Feel free to write in the comments or reach out to us. I'll give you my email address because I want to start this club.
Yep.
RJ Horner, RJ Horner, RJ Horner at outlook.com. Email me, send me some information, your interest in belonging to the club. Don't forget to leave your comments and questions. And we're here to help you. And we're here to help develop this club and develop coaches, leaders, speakers of tomorrow. Thank you for joining us. Have a
Cool.
great night.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night. Thanks, RJ.